What's up, YouTube? It's TM back with another video. Today's video is going to be saying that interviews are not the move. I know in my last video I talked about leak code not being the move, and that's the process you do and go through when you're getting interviews. And I know some of you out there are struggling with getting interviews, and I think the purpose of this video is also to say that interviewing is also not the move. Not to say that you shouldn't be interviewing, because you should definitely be interviewing to get jobs. I'm saying that you should not worry or stress yourself out when it comes to interviewing. You should understand that it is a numbers game and that there are biases and that there are going to be challenges. It's going to require time, it's going to require effort, and that you don't want to put everything in one basket. You don't want to, like I said before, put everything towards just one company that you want to be at. I think you need to understand that getting a software engineering role in the tech industry is not as challenging as some might believe. I think there is a couple tips that I can give that might actually provide benefits towards a lot of you guys out there. And that's to say that, one, understand your market. Two, understand what they're looking for. And three, be confident. Like, I think that third one is key, because when you're losing confidence, it can very much show in your interviews. And trust me, I've had many interviews where I wasn't my most confident self, and best believe I didn't move forward in those interview processes. It's really those that I felt most comfortable and confident in that worked out really well for me. And myself, if you guys haven't seen previous videos, I am a senior software engineer, and my first job in the tech industry was a senior software engineering role. I didn't think that alludes to one thing that I want to mention too, is that try to go for senior software engineering roles. Hear me out on this one. I know a lot of the job requirements for the senior software engineering role is going to ask you to have 4 to 6 years of work experience, blah, 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 blah. And this might be tough for a lot of you new grads out there, but there's a lot of ways where you can tailor your resume / CV to make yourself and portray yourself to be more senior than you typically actually are. And that does allude to having the confidence to do so. Now, this is, your mileage may vary, but for me, it worked out. I understood what it meant to have experience. I came from a recruitment background, a technical recruitment background. I understood that the way you tailor your resume is very important to just get an interview, because at the end of the day, I also understood that interviews are just interviews. And the resume / CV is there to get your foot in the door. Once your foot is in the door, you're able to present yourself, you're able to talk to the person across from you and allow yourself to try to get the job. And once you get the job, you're essentially going to be learning, the onboarding process, and every code base is different. So it's still going to be a learning curve regardless of whatever job you land at. And so that's why I kind of alluded in my last video about lead code not being the move, is because you can do all the stuff. Once you get to the job, it's going to actually be a whole nother breadth of experience, right? And so with your resume, try to, especially for the new grads out there going for junior role jobs, go for senior role jobs with your resume, tailor it to be more senior heavy, as in having more experience. If you have open source project experience, whether you just made one commit to an open source project, which I, advocate towards, open source contribution is a very crucial thing, because you're able to put on your resume, even if it was just one commit. I think it's something to talk about and learn about, and provides you with, more professionality when it comes to these interviews. And so put all those on your resume, put all the things you built, and then make sure that all your skills on the top part. What languages, even if like you've only written like one line of Python, put Python up there as a keyword, because all these things are going to go through a automated screening process. So you want as many keywords on there. And this is my opinion, and it might not be opinions that are shared with everyone out there. But again, I was a technical recruiter, and we did have our system that just bypassed a lot of resumes that didn't include things that we were looking for, whether that was just a language that we were looking for. And so make sure you have all the languages that you want to work with and that you have worked with on your resume. Make sure that all your experience talks about the technologies you use. Like if it was React, then make sure you said use React for this project, this app, whatever. And I can do actual individual consultations when it comes to these resume things, because again, everyone's experience is a little different. But I will say, keep your education on the bottom. That's not the most important thing. Make sure that you're experienced with your jobs or your projects or any even toy apps that you build. Don't make it sound like it was a toy app. Make it sound like it was something you're trying to build. That's the important part for the resumes when you go to the interview. But remember, the resume is what gets you the interview. And so, I'm gonna drop my email in the link below. Feel free to shoot me your resume, and I'm more than happy to screen over it. I can provide an example resume too in a future video. Let me know if you guys want to be interested in that. But going on to the senior engineering roles. For those of you that don't have any work experience at all, this can be a daunting thing to apply to senior level roles. But again, the whole process is to get into the process. The whole point is to get into the process. You just want to get an interview. And by logic, there's a lot less senior engineers than there are junior engineers. And when you're in the interview process and you turn out to be a lot more junior based on how you interview, people that want you, they have no problem of just down leveling you because they still like you and they still want you. And then you end up with the job anyways because you're still getting interviews, because then you're getting in front of people that actually have, opinion and like, hey, this person might not be the most senior, or this person might be too junior, but his personality was good. His or her or their personality is really good. And like, we want someone like that to work by our side 40 plus hours a week or 30 plus or what have you. This would be a nice person to work with. So we want them in our company. We want them on our team. We'll just down level them. And that's not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, you were gonna go for a junior level role. Why not just go above and beyond? If you land, a little bit lower, then you actually end up where you wanted to be. That makes it a lot more streamlined and gives you a lot more opportunities, because if you're just applying to junior/new grad roles, you're gonna be competing with a larger amount of people, and that's gonna make the odds stacked against you. And we don't want that. So my advice, go for a senior level role. And if you happen to land a senior level role and get a little bit higher pay, kudos to you, shout outs to you. That happened to me. Very thankful for it. And trust me, when I got my first role as a senior software engineer, it was pretty daunting, but in retrospect, I learned a lot in the first 6 months on that role during the onboarding process, and it ended up working out for me. And I gained the confidence of a senior after, going through the process, but I had to fake that confidence throughout the interview process. But I believed in myself, and that goes back to the number 3 thing that I mentioned, which is to be confident. Believe in yourself, believe that you can do it, understand that this is all just a process, it's all just numbers, and a job is a job, and these jobs are good jobs, are high paying jobs. That's why a lot of people want them. And most importantly, I believe in you. And I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all. I'm gonna get back to you guys on another video next week about, you guys are gonna have to find out. But I don't have my normal setup. Still back home at my parents' place this week for Thanksgiving, so still wanted to get a video out there for you guys, keep this consistency thing going, building this habit going. So hopefully y'all like this video. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Be confident. Best of luck. Hope y'all get all the interviews, all the jobs out there. Peace.